We're out here doing yard stuff, or had been doing yard stuff. Long story short, my yard used to look a lot better than what it did, or what it does now. But still got a lot of work to do. After the last freeze, there was a lot of death out here. A lot of plants died, and that always sucks because the whole point of planting them is so they survive. But anyway, let's get the thing turned around. You can see some shit. So earlier, all of this leaves shit was in that, and cleaned out a bunch of the dead clumps, or the dead bamboo shoots in this little thing. So using this liner here that is porous, it's got holes in it so the water can actually drain. This is good. I'm going to use all natural, and these are what the states of my bamboo shoots look right now. They're not looking too good, so I got to bring them back to life. There used to be one right there, but it completely died, which was sad. That one I cleaned out earlier today, got all the dead crap. And this one, still got to do that, and still got to do that to get rid of all the dead brown ones. And that to give way for new life to come through it. In case you're wondering what all the dead stuff came out of just 2 of these, even though they're still not done. And yeah, so if you're thinking I'll get some bamboo, well, it's a lot of work, so be prepared for that. These shrubs, well, they kind of suck. They don't grow fast, and they get infested with some kind of vine that is very invasive, and this neighborhood is riddled with. Can't find the source. It's got to be coming from someone else's yard, but anyway, this is the actual leaf, and this is the vine that finds its way. So I've been neglecting my yard for a while. This is some weeds that just made all their way up there, so that's a lot. But anyway, that thing doesn't require lots of water. This here, well, that's an oak tree right next to this big ass oak tree. Why is it here? Well, it used to be just a sapling that I didn't have the heart to kill, and now it's taken shape, but it's too close to this. Supposedly you're supposed to plant oak trees about 20 to 30 feet apart, and so that ain't gonna work. But I don't want to kill it, so I'm gonna have to find a hole for it, or dig a hole in the front yard and transplant it. In these spaces I used to have 3 shrubs, but the freeze killed them, and that sucks. And so the root fixture is still there, so I'm gonna have to dig that out, and that's gonna be a huge pain in the ass because digging holes sucks. I'm gonna have to find a new place for this one, because this one I bought many years ago, and it should already be like 20 feet tall, but it never took. Probably just because this whole area underneath the 2 big oak trees is generally shaded the entire day. So any type of plant that enjoys mucho sunlight throughout the day isn't going to do that good. Which is why I got this ground cover. Forgot what it's called. And there's another sapling, oak tree sapling in there. Along with, I don't know what this is, but it's kind of invasive. But this just started as one little clump that was like maybe 8 inches wide or so, and it does spread. It's called some kind of jasmine, but I forget exactly what it is called. But hopefully, as time goes on, it will fill up this whole area. It's already creeping that way, and over here, it's made its way over here too. And one little, it shoots out the rhizomes that go underneath and on top of the ground, and it's gonna start wrapping around the tree like it has over here. So it's made its way from all the way over there to here, and that's just one plant. That's a weed. I don't like that. Believe it or not, this whole area underneath the 2 trees from behind this barrier that I put in here with these bricks that are just supposed to make circles like that used to be all covered in mulch that I laid by hand with bags like that. But over time, when I stopped caring so much, it got away, and all these stupid ass clover and weeds started coming in, and they're hard to get rid of and keep away. So I'm gonna do probably a mixture of herbicide, covering it with maybe some of that, more of this liner type stuff, and get it all back to be covered with mulch to allow this stuff to do its thing. But that could be more years, because this is already, that stuff is already, I think, 2 years old already, and it's only moved that much. So if you really want the stuff to spread, you just got to plant more of them around. The only thing that kind of sucks about stuff like this is that these trees drop their leaves, and getting leaves out of stuff like this is kind of a pain, but that's just how it goes. These bamboo species, same as that, is the same as the one over here. That one's doing better just because it gets more sunlight. But for the most part, this whole area behind or underneath the trees only gets sunlight like post 5 p.m. till the sun goes down, which is, but because of cloud cover today, it's not. So they just grow slowly. So believe it or not, this species is supposed to grow way taller than this, but this particular spot gets like the least amount of sunlight, or actually no, this area does, because this plant is the same exact one as that other one, but it just does not flourish in this spot. But since there's still green leaves coming off of it and out of it, that means that it is in fact alive. It just isn't thriving. This is some of that stupid vine crap. And there's a sapling again. So yeah, you really got to stay on top of that shit. This is the crepe myrtle. It's kind of nice. I just got to trim out all that shit because Crepe myrtles are actually shrubs, but they can turn into trees. But they will spread. So if you want it to look like a tree, you gotta trim out all the little bullshit. Just gotta dig the crap out of all the dead stuff out of that one. So you gotta come in here, get rid of all the leaves, and some mixtures of weeds in here, so I gotta get rid of all that shit too. These things are stupid. This thing keeps coming back. I forget what it's called, but it dies back in the winter, but it always comes back. Without these cool yellow flores that the bees enjoy. So they're cool. This thing used to be some kind of shrub, but it's pretty much gone. The freeze didn't treat this one well, so I gotta get a chainsaw and cut all that shit out. And this area too does not get a lot of good sunlight during the day, so I gotta find something. I'll show the rest of the yard later in another video, but for the most part, this whole area used to look a lot better, and wanted to get it back. That's a dog. And that is all a pile of crap I gotta break up and put into the stuff for the yard trimmings to get picked up. I got one more can I can fill up. I can probably put some more stuff in those too. These thorny ass, sometimes they produce roses, but that's all that, and they've got fucking thorns of the wazoo, and that pierces your skin. It hurts. There used to be one there, but it died. So these are still living, but the thing that sucks about these is they need to be like on some kind of shit that holds them up, and I don't know. I think I just want to get rid of these altogether because they protrude out and they're stupid. But anyway, I'm gonna get this bag of mulch inside of all that. Those items are just there to hold the stuff down because it was windy earlier. Need to leave some space here because it is still growing season, and the new shoots will grow out from the center of the root ball, as with all the other species of bamboo that I have. So they do not run around and come up everywhere in the yard. But I just put some fertilizer in that today, so, and in this one had so much dead shit, and there's a new one out, so it's still alive, but so too much neglect will stall their progress. So just like this one has shingles of oak leaves that don't necessarily promote its growth. Those leaves are from the falling of this one, which the fallen leaves of the bamboo plants kind of act as their own nourishing mulch. So this whole area doesn't necessarily require a lot of store-bought mulch because the plants will kind of do it themselves. Anyway, I'm gonna get on my stupid gloves and get that shit into that crap. So even though mulch is supposed to prevent weeds, weeds still will kind of germinate in this stuff, acting as soil. So you still got to come around and pick out the weeds with stuff. It's going to require a second bag. Don't want to throw too much mulch on the actual root ball. You got to even breathe, so you lightly sparse it. Let's down a second bag. Just to make sure we actually cover that shit. You actually want to cover your liner. The alternative to not using the alternative is to not use liner, but more susceptible to weed infestation. Kind of want to make like a little bowl where the water can go down in, and because it's not too bad, but this whole property goes on a slope where the highest end is over here. So you would want kind of like a dam where the runoff water can be kind of stopped, but that looks okay. Into my ass. Grass, be okay. It ain't. One thing at a time. I'll keep the fertilizer. Nice and moist. So, good. So, I don't necessarily like the kind of red or black mulch, and I mainly wear gloves because my stupid fingernails will get all the mud underneath. It's a pain in the ass to clean. So yeah, what it looks like now. Not too shabby. Looks a little bit more natural. Just looking in that. There ain't nothing in there, boy. Don't pee on my gloves. So that's I guess that's part one. More stuff to do. All right, that's yard stuff for the day. Got more to do, but it's coming along. If you're wondering why one of my eyes is super red, that's because earlier when I was pruning the plants, some debris got in there and got irritated. So I figured if it stays red for all day, which it has, I gotta go get some Visine. Like back in the day when you smoked J's and you had to use the Visine. But not no more. Anyway, peace.